and welcome to the Stream in Terror. I am joined by the great doctor who might torment you all, Dr. Torment.
Hey, hello everyone. How are you all?
They're doing alright, I think? Maybe?
I think everyone's doing fine.
Everyone doing good? Everyone got the good thing? Hold on, I'm trying to fix something so this ain't working for me.
Everyone had a nice week while we wait.
Oh, still there. Weird.
Oh, that's good to read. I'm glad you are doing okay, Cindy. You too, September.
I hope Cindy's doing good. Cindy's amazing. And so is September Dragon. Both of them are amazing. We're definitely not listening to Rolling Thunder, so I don't know why it's doing this.
Oh, there's supposed to be music. Oh, okay.
There is music. Oh, it is Rolling Thunder now. Okay, if it doesn't change, then I know something's wrong. If it does change, we're good. All right. Technical difficulties.
It happens. It happens.
So, another week, another 5 cents. Okay, Paranormal is winning for stories.
That is true. How are we with the poll?
Paranormal is winning. Everyone wants paranormal stories.
Uh,
I have a heating pad on my wrist. It hurts. Carrying grocery and is getting heavier for my old. Aww. Yeah. If you have to take more trips, Sydney. Don't. And also, I try to order stuff that's lighter if you can. I've stopped buying those like heavy laundry things, big things of laundry that are just water. I buy the little small laundry sheets now instead. Just go and get a cart. That's fair.
Yeah, that's good.
I used to have one of those actually, but that's because I used to have to walk to get groceries and walk home.
Yeah, I had one of those too when I still lived in the provincial capital. But yeah, the nearest store was still like a kilometer away from me. So yeah, my god, it's just not feasible doing it with bags and stuff like that.
No,
No.
Definitely not. Definitely not. I'm gonna do a quick. Hold on. Let me. Listen to that spooky music, guys. Totally can hear it. Totally not dead silence on my end.
Totally had a spooky music.
I couldn't imagine trying to read and listen to spooky music at the same time. I'd be like, no, I'm good, done.
I'm good, but at the same time, maybe.
I'm just gonna post real quick on Twitter. There you are. I never know if I should put a period before after doctor or not with you, but it depends on the site. Some don't like the period, some do, because they have to be complicated.
We like complications.
Apparently.
Yes.
Hello,
absolutely.
Shade. Welcome to the chaos.
Hey, welcome, dark little voices.
You're gonna throw some shade at us, then complain about how it's gonna work in probably like a few hours.
He does?
Yeah, he works overnights. The poor guy.
Ay. Oh, I feel it. I get that.
Stupid overlords won't just give us money. No, we have to work for it.
But you've got the money, you just have to share it. No, we don't live in communist Europe. Well,
America.
I do.
Or America.
I mean, wait, hold on. You get money in America if you just live there?
No, I meant we don't live in communist America either. It's not a thing here either. That's what I meant.
I was almost so happy, like, wait, you have European values over there?
No, God, no. I mean, okay, to be fair, we do have social things. Like, if you lose your job out of no fault of your own, they do have employment insurance here.
Okay, that's fair.
But it's only for so long, of course, so.
Oh, you actually have a time limit with that one. We should take a note on that.
Apparently,
actually
Dark
useful.
The Voices did not work tonight. He has D&D, and they are playing. And then Sydney paid 40 years into retirement and is now getting paid. So also able to watch the whole stream instead of just a few minutes. Aw.
Yay!
You don't get to kill your random characters, because I know he's also the DM. You don't get to kill the characters tonight. Or they don't get to disappoint you by walking away from the spooky place. He told me about... There's this one... I think it was a ship that was just like all ghosts and it's gonna be really cool. And they're like, yeah, no. He's like, but the ship...
That's not. No, we're good, fam. You can go on the ship. I'll just stay right here. Oh, September, you play D&D. Nice. I'm not gonna pretend like I know anything about it, though, but it's always fascinated me.
You've never played D&D?
Not yet had the pleasure, no. No. But then again, where I live, it's not really as prominent. Like, if I would go and search for people that actually play D&D, it would actually look very sketchy.
You would have to go into the dungeon. Down in some guy's basement.
Imagine some guys just with black hooded capes over their heads and shoulders, just, and now we initiate you into our brotherhood. Hold on, guys. What into what now? No.
The door slams shut. You're not allowed to leave.
That thing's still hunting them down. Oh, okay.
I told him to make the ship hunt them down.
Why would you? Why? No, 42, don't have the ship hunt them down.
Yeah, of course. It is so much fun. I'm not the one playing.
You're... I mean, I enjoy the evilness, but still, no.
Yeah. He worked really hard to get it. To put it
yeah, now it's gonna get him.
Well, not them. He's the dungeon master. He's gonna be fine. That creature.
Oh,
I know exactly.
That case, never mind. I take back everything. It's fine then.
Yeah, no. He's the DM. So basically he tries to kill the players, but doesn't actually want to succeed. And the players want to kill the creatures they send out to him so they can get XP and goodies. It's like, everyone jokes that the DM's job is to kill the players. I'm like, no, because that'd be super easy. Level 1, here's a Trask. You're all dead.
There is this creature that I heard about. I have forgotten the name. Something with a Hydra. It came up somewhere on Instagram on the Reels. It was viraling for a moment. I don't know what it is again, though.
There's a lot.
Like the improbable Hydra or something like that. I don't know. It works based on your perception, I think. Something like that. I don't know. It's weird. But it's one of those reasons I actually am fascinated with D&D lore a little bit.
Oh yes, the creatures are really cool, and most of it's open source. The only things that aren't open source are beholders, And there's just like a couple monsters that aren't open source, and the rest you can do whatever.
I actually saw a guy freak out that there was a beholder somewhere.
God. Oh yeah,
I don't know what it was. It looked like a cinematic or a game.
Yeah, probably was Dungeons and Dragons, or not Dungeons and Dragons. Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate. Yeah, that makes sense.
I honestly felt bad that I killed off Decay at level 1, but allowed them to bring her character back from dead by pleading with a god. That's fair. Yep. Oh.
As you do. As you do. Every time I die, I also plead with a god. Doesn't really matter which one. And I offer a bunch of bananas.
It seems to
they really like bananas.
It seems to have worked at least once with you.
Well, a couple of times I'm running a tally, but that's not important.
Hold on one sec. The music has crashed. I am sorry about that, guys.
Did that?
Yeah.
Oh.
The program froze. Hold on one second.
Not the music.
The music died.
I mean, don't worry, DLV, don't worry about that, because there is something in the works of a possible origins of Doctor Torment later down this year, but we are still working on that. It's gonna be fun. Bananas? No, we want the music, DLV. You don't get to decide if it's alright to just hear us. We want the music, okay?
It makes the dead silence less awkward. I made it.
Okay, yeah, that... I mean, yeah, that too, sure.
I made a DM so mad once. He killed me off by having me pulled to the nine hells.
That sounds like someone effed up.
Yeah, September.
Oh god, September, why? I mean, I'm like not even dipping my toes fully into the lore, but I can tell like that is a major no-no.
Yeah, hell's normally a pretty, you don't want to go there. Did you want to find a fictional story? Because it's now winning.
Sure.
And I will get a paranormal story because it was originally winning. So that means people who were here first won that.
If you want a fictional story, I can look into my own.
Sure. Nothing over 10 minutes for reading is kind of the rule. That I don't want to make you suffer.
Oh, that should be fine then.
Reading too long. I think I read a half an hour long story.
I mean, these are writings I've basically... Oh.
Sorry, what were we going to say?
Oh no, I just said these are writings that I left alone since 2015, 2016-ish. So if it sounds like a little weird, I was still in an infancy with writing.
He was
just
baby
need to find them, though.
Doctor Torment.
I was just baby Torment. The doctor wasn't in yet.
What? Good, I did hit the button before I start coughing that bad. Yeah, so I had a writer on, and all of his stories, the shortest one was like well over 20 minutes long for a read. I was like, oh my god. He's got really good stories, but it was just like, okay, well, I gotta read this because I want to read one of his stories, and since he's here, but damn.
Oh, hey, Outcast, welcome.
He is evil, and he has snuck in.
That is why we like him.
Mm-hmm. He fits in nicely.
Right? Or am I the only one that likes him? In that case, still, welcome.
I agreed. I said yes.
No, Nico, you're not late. You're fashionably on time.
Welcome, Nico. You're never late. You're on time for when you wanted to be here.
We haven't even started reading yet, so it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. If we were just shooting the shit about D&D, you don't even know that much about D&D. which is fine. It's all good. All right, I'll read this one, and then I'll get you to read afterwards.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Unexplained events in bakery. Just a little backstory. I work in a bakery department for a well-known company, and in my story, there. Hold on, sorry, what was that? Oh, welcome, Jessica. Thank you for subscribing. Wait, go back to this. Scared the bejesus out of me, though. I'll restart. We weren't that far. Unexplained.
Stage is all yours.
Unexplained event in bakery. Just a little backstory. I work in a bakery department for a well-known company, and in my story, there's 3 people involved. My supervisor, we'll name her Lisa. Lisa. My coworker, we'll name her Megan, and me. I had just clocked into work 1:30 p.m. and walked into the back room, got a drink, and then Lisa sitting down on her lunch break. I said hi and then walked back to the bakery department. Fast forward to about 2 or 3 p.m. Lisa was still up front, maybe finishing her break or taking care of some business, and Megan and I were still way back in the bakery on the other end of the building. I was walking around after just finishing some tasks when I quickly glanced back at Megan. She was wearing her red shirt and her white hat, kneeling down over by the 2 fans that sit next to the 3 big ovens. She seemed to be wiping the fans down or something when I noticed Lisa right next to her with her white hat on and black shirt on that I noticed she had on earlier when I first came to work when I saw her in the lunch break. I thought to myself, oh, okay, Lisa must be finished with whatever she was doing up front and came back to the bakery. Not thinking that too much about it. I turned back and went on with the next task when Megan came up to me and asked, "Hey, have you seen Lisa? I heard her calling your name just a moment ago, but she wasn't there when I looked." I said, "I thought she was with you by the fans. I just saw her next to you." And she said, "No, I was alone." Feeling spooked, I messaged Lisa and asked her where she was, to which she replied, "Up front. Why? Is everything all right?" I have no clue what that was. We were both shocked at that moment, and we left wondering what just happened. If you guys are reading this and have any idea, please let me know. I asked around the store with people who work in the bakery, and they have some stories as well, such as shadowy figures, things moving, falling, opening and closing, lights turning off and on their own, stuff like that. And it's true, I've seen lights flicker and shadow figures as I work alone. There we go. That one's done. That was paranormal.
That was actually... I like it. It was short, quick. Kind of got you in the end, though.
It's a haunted bakery. Be careful. Don't let them throw you in the oven and close it behind you.
It's a haunted bakery. I mean, yeah.
the bread's full of spirits. It'd be funnier if it was a bar. Anyways.
Feed it to the rats. They start talking. The special bread. It gives us speech more.
Burn the bread, burn the building, burn everything.
Hide your wives, hide your kids. Hide your mice. Because rats eat them.
Yeah, fair.
I mean, talking mice, we already had Jerry. It's more than enough. Hearing him talk was the biggest, no-no in my life.
I was gonna say Ratatouille, but that was a rat.
I mean, Remy too, sure, Remy too, but
But at least
he was supposed to talk, though. He was supposed to talk.
Yes. Yeast make spirits, but in this bakery, the spirits make the bread. Use the yeast to make the bread.
Instead of yeast.
I'm Just like I said, it would have been better if it was a bar, because then, the spirits.
The spirits give you drinks? I mean...
No, spirits is another word for hard alcohol.
Okay. Wow, how did that slip my mind? I use that all the time. Jesus.
You're not around 242 enough.
Yeah, apparently. All right, I'm just gonna quit the stream. I did myself in, people. It's fine. I'm gone. It's fine.
Evil Outcast, come on, or not evil Outcast. I was gonna say Dark Little Voices. Just throw him in. I could steal evil too. Make him read some stories.
Ooh. Evil reading stories. That will be fun.
He used to actually live read all the time on live streams. But his was way later than this. Yeah. He did it at like midnight my time. The one time I caught it. But I'm normally like fast asleep by the time he was live streaming.
I mean, yeah, it's probably around 4 a.m. my time that... If that's late, yeah. Probably then, yeah. Sleeping then.
It's probably later. Because it's like 5 where I am right now.
Later? Oh, I could just set up a alarm clock for that. I could follow such a stream then. Sure.
I'll sleep, wake up, like, hey, morning, everyone. Let's read you some stories to go to sleep to. Wait.
Oh no, actually no. People hearing my morning voice, actually no. You know what? Second thoughts, no.
He said, yeah,
it's not gonna be
stories
good.
After dark, good times. Yeah, he used to do that. He hasn't done it in a long
Hello,
time.
Hello, Dr. Torment. Why do you sound like you were a chain smoker for the last 20 years? Well, let me tell you something, son.
Don't chain smoke?
No, I don't.
I actually have a pack of gum right now. It's the second time I bought it. It totally looks like a pack of cigarettes. 100%. I've had so many people like, when did you start smoke? Wait a minute. I mean, these are my cigarettes, but it's just whenever I have to do something and I'm hungry, I'll just chew on a piece of gum to help suppress my hunger till I can eat something.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, so I didn't realize it was a trick to do that for longest time, because I've always chewed gum. But yeah, if you're really, really hungry and you just can't really eat right now because you're chewing on something and your mouth is actively eating away at something, it helps your digestion to calm down for a little bit, thinking that food's on its way.
Huh. Well, that's a nice cheat. You cheater.
If you can't eat right away, it's a great way of just calming your stomach down. Instead of hearing all the time.
But we are horror narrators. We are supposed to make people, uncomfortable. So make the mouth noises in there. It's fine.
Yeah, that's why I go...
You know what? No, I take it back. Never do that again. No. Nah. Just don't. Nah, never do that again. Ugh, mouth noises.
Yeah, I'm
bane of my existence.
Trying to work around some of the mouth noises problems I've been having with my recordings lately. Apparently, Evil is trying to bring it back, but this time slot he was using has been used by other narrators. I mean, Evil, do what you're gonna do. See if you doing it brings in different people. It's very possible. I mean, technically all time slots are being used, so... I've given up. I've had people start streaming at this time too, and I'm like, well, this is when I can stream, so...
This is my stream time. Get the hell off.
I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna push you off a cliff. I don't even know if you live near a cliff, but I'm gonna find a cliff and push you off of it.
It's gonna look like an accident, damn it.
Yeah, that's what the car's for.
No, not really. That's less fun if it looks like an accident. But, actually, Evil, I just do the stream just at your regular hours that you're used to. I mean, it's your channel, right? So you get to decide that. And when the stream is done, you still have an hour, maybe 2-hour video on the channel. Mm-hmm. People still watch that.
And yeah, people do watch playbacks all the time. I watch this stream gets playbacks. I think I get 10 or 15 more from playbacks. So.
It's a little funny that I give advice on live streams while I haven't done a live stream myself one time.
You're working.
I'm guests. Working on it, yes. Still need to figure out some kinks.
Alright, do you
let's
have
hop over to mine then.
I was gonna say, did you find a story yet?
Yes, it's a bit of a... advertisement. Yes, advertisement. I love you. I do want to buy a guitar.
Good, sweet. Perfect time for the advertisement then. Right? Be like...
I don't want to buy... I don't want to buy a guitar, though. Get off my property.
Or be like the old man, like, get off my property. This is one of the reasons from Nico that I won't stream. I'd much rather get entertainment stream like this than hosted doll where I have no idea what I'm doing. I'll tell you a secret, Nico. I never know what I'm doing. I just wing it.
Okay, Hulk, simmer down.
What?
But actually, yeah, Nico makes a good point, because I have no idea what I should be doing for my streams as well. I just took an example from 42 and just thought, a little bit of hangout, a little bit of reading, a little bit of socializing. You know, it's fun.
My old stream was just hanging out, and then I realized that probably should have some narrating in with it, because it's mostly what people come to see me. But it's also a great way to get to know other narrators, get to know the narrator you're listening to most of the time. I just find it a great way of seeing the person behind the voice, basically. Because we don't get to actually put too much of our own personalities into the stories, especially if you're reading someone else's. So. Right. Alright, you ready to read your story?
I do tend to switch character, though. Yes, I am ready.
Okay, go ahead.
So just a little bit of a background. So this is fiction, yes, but it's kind of set in another world. You may say it's a bit of a dark fantasy kind of thing. I don't know if that counts or not.
Yes, it's still fiction.
Alright. Okie dokie, so here we go. The Well. As noon sun shone high above Vainsplit, the town's bells rang to announce the hour of the day. Folks here had a quiet life and enjoyed the sereneness of nature around them. 2 rivers with rocky shores, with green hills topped with white and yellow flowers, made for an eye-sweet landscape for those with a weakness for nature. Children would play on the outskirts of town so as to not interrupt the working adults. Its location gave the townsfolk more assurance, as the natural barriers of the rivers on the north side prevented rot-borne raids, as the bridges could easily be said to collapse, and in the south there was an encampment and regiment of soldiers, not 2 hours away if the need arises. These parts of the heartlands have always been praised with the lush landscape and where woodland animals skittered and fly fearlessly around, as the folks here don't hunt, but farm and gather fruits for vegetables to satisfy their hunger since the earliest times. I do want to apologize beforehand for the long sentences. Again, haven't touched this since 2015. The center of Vainsplit had a low well, which was deep and dark, and a need for the townsfolk despite the feeling of being watched from it. They built their wood and stone houses in a circle around it, yet far enough to feel more at ease, as the well had an ill reputation, despite the slow beating heart of the town. More than once did someone fall in there and become lost. When drawing the water beneath, it became a tradition to go in pairs or groups, lest another clumsy one went missing. Despite the waters beneath, the grass around it dried out, but there was a custom that the locals invented to quell their fears about the well. It is said that dropping a personal item into the depths would increase the chances of good fortunes in life. No belongings ever resurfaced or were found again when someone dropped a bucket down to collect. They just disappeared, like the townsfolk that fell in by accident before. Memories of the lost fade away like snow in spring, and those willing to part with something precious to them often move away from the town and and find greater fortune in life the further they went, leaving behind all knowledge of their years in vain split. One red morning, some children played near the town's well as the sun rose and sang the salesman nursery rhyme for hours on end. Slowly the sky rolled golden and blue as the sun rose further and promised a warm day ahead. When they stopped singing, at least for a breather, there was sudden applause and cheers. It came from the deep well. Most of the children ran, maybe fearing a ghost would grab them, shouting their rushed claims of hearing roars and moans. But one sullen girl remained with a piqued curiosity and stepped towards the clapping and cheering. Surprised it was to see that this one did not flee the sudden merry noises and came towards the origin. To her, there were no scary sounds, but it felt like a party just for them. How sad that as the others ran, the clapping and cheers slowly faded to nothing, and someone was weeping. Maybe whoever was down there needed some cheers back. Maybe whoever cheered from below was happy for them to play above with such a sunny morning while this person was stuck below. Running towards it, she yelled not to leave whoever was down there. Oh, I skipped a sentence. Running towards the well, she yelled not to leave to whoever was down there. Looking down, she saw a weird someone down there. An odd, funny-looking man with a large forehead and in a bright-colored outfit, with yellow curls of hair, looking surprised back up to her. His soft, rosy eyes showed the sadness his long, ruby smile tried to hide. How long must he have been down there? Is no one missing him? The girl lowered the well's bucket and told the old man to sit in it so she could hoist him up, but he looked confused, not knowing what to do. It took us some time to explain and point the fellow, but the fellow went from confusing to downright sad. Stringing his words in short rhymes with a pleasant voice, he explained that he ran away from a traveling troupe of entertainers, because they made fun of him and of his friendly ways, even if they were oh so simple. They would laugh at his head and kick away his bag of tools and toys, which he often gifted to the children coming to see him. He wondered where the girl's friends ran off to, but she knew the fellow had a clue. As carefully as possible, she explained that his cheers startled them, which made a tear drop in the water he was in. The dark waters rippled and lit up enough to shine on the child's face, but not enough to cause pain in her eyes, more like a cool, snowy light from a warm day. The air around her felt like a comforting hug and smelled like sweet pie freshly baked. Wondering if he could do magic, the girl asked if that's how he lived down there. With his curly shoes standing on the water below, which was like a stone floor to him, maybe the well was that shallow at that time. Running away from bullies and living alone as a magician, who is to say how the well was enchanted, maybe none but him, and those approved could see the true depths and space. It was a marvel to think of, much like she thought of the mages throughout history and their abilities. The fellow below asked if her friends would come back, but that made her silent. Being in a group, that doesn't mean they're friends after all. She was made fun of too. Living simple and poor, mockery stung like a hot blade even in the smallest of jests. A resentment towards those with parents but spent time away from them. Had she known hers, she'd stay and love them every day. Not like her group, hating the farms they grew up in, always complaining about work and trying to avoid their parents. Such luck to have both in their lives, with an assured future, yet here they were, skipping their work and the people that labor for them. Such friends. Her sadness and thoughts were felt by the fellow. Below, so he sang her the salesman rhyme that her so-called friends did before. Brazenly, the girl said to stop it as they sang, only to scare her. And to that, the fellow wondered aloud if she was a wicked one. Thinking about it, often she would have some wicked thoughts and fantasies, but never acted on them, so she assured the odd fellow that she was not a wicked one. Smiling again, the merryman told her that there was nothing to be scared of, and the others were just dumb mice not knowing cheese when they saw it. In a poof, his face changed to that of a cute mouse with a three-way pointed hat. A funny sight and the jingling bells made the girl smile again. A few improvised acrobatics in that confined space, and her laughter warmed the fellow's heart. His head changed back, and the girl asked if he had friends left at all. He explained that if he had any, they would have found him, which is how the spell on the well worked. Considering the girl could see him, he suggested that maybe she was his friend. He explained that others could still hear him if he was loud enough like today, but spells of sounds were more tricky than a play on the eyes. In a way, it made sense, as there has been only honesty and laughter since they met, however short. But aloud she wondered then if he was the reason why people don't like the well that much. He admitted that he was, but not for the things they believed. Or odd noises and growls were just him snoring or reading loudly, his books often about monsters, which he mimicked like a stage play. Again, it made a certain sense as he spun the words perpetually into poems and songs. The fellow then asked the girl if she wanted to see his humble abode from up close, and she considered it for a time. Vainsplit was a quaint and calm town, but the ignorance and arrogance of the folk here were too ugly to live with. All she had to do was jump, and she'd be in a new home, or so the fellow promised. No one laughs at them, no one would judge them, no one would tell them how to live their lives. None of life's cruelty to pester them ever again. She closed her eyes and in joyous belief jumped towards the stretched arms of the grinning man. His arms never caught her. Cold, deep and dark were the thick waters she fell into. Her belly and lungs slowly filled up, and none of her panic cries could be heard. As if they had a will of their own, thick sludges of mud silenced her mouth at every attempt to cry out, like a tentacle slithering down her throat. A final look to the sky above, and yet there was the merryman smiling amusingly with a gloved fist under his white chin, looking down with those flaring rosy eyes. She never was truly missed, just another fool that carelessly fell down the deep well. Another one ensnared by an illusion of hearing what others could not. Another free mind snuffed out for not submitting to the will of another like other simpletons of the town would. Another soul to satisfy an old pact of fertility promised to the townsfolk, but remembered by no one. By far, Vainsplit was not the only place where such a curious well, and not always the danger within, took such a form. Closets left ajar at night, a faint wisp of a name carried in the wind, a small road leading to some place no map shows, a friend behaving differently that leads to a weird gathering under the pale moonlight. At times, or so the settlers of old believed, progress required a push, and the forgotten one still hungers to deliver. End.
Remind me not to try hug some random guy in a well.
Never hug a random guy.
Especially in a well.
Never hug a random guy, no.
Hello,
she was a bit ensnared.
Just a little.
Welcome, Max.
He's like, I made it. Now for the lurking to begin.
Yay, join the pack.
Alright, so
I did stumble on my words, but I did stumble on my words a couple of times, but yeah. Again, it was since 2006, and the sentences don't really click with how I write now.
That's fair.
It didn't click right in my head.
September really liked it. He said it was a great story.
Thank you, September.
It was a really good story. I also had to read comments.
I think it requires some tweaking on my end, though. I can just feel it's outdated a little.
That's all good. That happens, though. All right.
Thank you, Nico.
Did you want to find a paranormal story next? And I'll do a fictional one. And then we'll switch types after that. Because they're both winning equally.
No.
I didn't want you to do fiction back to back. So.
Ooh, okie dokie.
Alright, I've got one.
So paranormal for me.
Yes. Alright, I'll do this one. So, the incident. And warning, this one contains self-harm. Names have been altered for anonymity. I was 9 years old and lived in a pretty regular life. You know, primary school in the day, followed by playing out until dark with my mates. My best mate at the time, Felix, was an avid football fan and loved playing it. And more often than not, that's how we spent our afternoons. Although with just the two of us, we were pretty limited on one of us playing goalie and the other taking shots. As we were so young, we weren't allowed to go to the park to play on the grass with proper nets until we were supervised, which was a rare occurrence. So we often just settled using brick wall as the front of a cafe across from Felix's house. That day, I was in goal and I was having a hard time making saves as usual. Felix blasted the ball towards me and it bounced off the window and flew towards the road, prompting Felix to run to get it to avoid a potential car accident. I watched him, anticipating a car to come speeding around the corner whilst the ball was in the middle of the road. That's when I felt the cold gap on my hand around my ankle. Confused, I looked down to see a ghostly white hand reaching out of the basement grate, tightly wrapping around me. I was never particularly emotional as a child, especially around my friends, but by heck did I scream. The hand let go and Felix ran to me to see what was up. I couldn't even get my words out to attempt to explain it as I wrenched with sobs. This all caused Felix's mom to come running outside to see what was going on. I finally managed to explain what had happened to me. She attempted to reassure me, saying the cafe owners were probably annoyed by the ball hitting the wall and tried to scare us away. But even back then, I knew that wasn't it. I could still feel that cold of the hand that was against my bare skin. I could still see the blue veins through the wrinkly, saggy skin. Felix's mom called my parents and they rushed to come pick me up. When they got there, I was still distraught. I explained what had happened, and my parents didn't even attempt to come up with an explanation. They just comforted me and told me that I was safe now. As the years went on, me and Felix naturally drifted apart. I had completely forgot about the incident. Perhaps I had suppressed it out of trauma, but whilst at the pub last weekend with some uni mates, I bumped into Felix. I invited him and his girlfriend to come sit with us, and we spent hours reminiscing on our childhood. Then he brought up the incident. A wave of dread came over me again. I felt the cold sensation on my ankle that I had felt countless times since that traumatic day. Felix went on to tell me that his mom still mentions the incident and that she herself was quite shaken up about it at the time, unbeknownst to me. She didn't even dare mention it to Felix until he was well into adulthood. It turns out that cafe and the flat above it had been unoccupied for 6 months prior to this incident. The owner had committed unaliving due to crippling debt, leaving the property to go to auction. This was common knowledge to the adults in the local area as the owner was well known. But the property wasn't purchased until May 2010, nearly a year after the worst day of my life. This shit will always haunt me. I never been a fan of the unknown, but it truly kills me that I will never know who or what grabbed me that day. The end.
Okay, I was looking for my unmute button there. Okay.
It hit on you.
Come again?
I said it hit on you. Am I a little low? Guys, am I a little quiet?
I don't...
You'd be hearing me different.
Oh, like that.
Yes.
That or my microphone is just a little too sensitive.
I know that I do make myself a bit quieter, so if I talk loud, it doesn't, max out my mic.
Yeah, I actually had some feedback on something I did a little while ago for a friend of mine. So apparently, I wasn't still used to my new microphone, and it constantly peaked no matter where I put it in, and apparently it had something to do with the settings. I don't even recall. He had to walk me through it.
Yeah, my voice.
Well, it was a little.
My voice cracks more now, so there's not much I can do about it. I've tried a bunch of different things and it doesn't fix it. So.
Well, voice cracks are fun. Keep them.
Yeah, well, it's also fun when you're narrating. Ever since that last COVID's case of COVID that I had, it's kind of started doing that. So it's just something I have to deal with now.
Ah, okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeesh.
Yeah, nothing I can do about it. Wasn't like I went out there and tried to get it. I tried to stay away from people.
That actually helps a lot. You should do that more.
I haven't left my house in 4 months. Okay, that's a lot.
I don't know if you've noticed, but people are awful.
You do have a point there. Yes, people are pretty awful.
They are awful.
They can.
I don't know how people do it.
Especially when you read a lot of creepy encounter stories, you really see how awful people are.
Jesus, yeah. But to be fair, with creepy encounter stories, I'm not entirely sure where it starts to be fiction and when it's not. Because I know a few of them are fiction, though.
Oh, yeah. It's not. They're not supposed to be, but yeah.
Yeah, but they still sneak them in there.
Oh, I know.
Like
me and my husband.
The one that always keeps me guessing is the ever so popular Smiling Man. Like, it's probably made up, but at the same time, this could very well just happen.
Oh,
drunkenness makes you do some very weird shit.
Oh, the guy that was following him on the other side of the street and was acting all weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He was basically like tiptoe dancing and smiling while looking up to the stars and stuff like that. Here's the thing. That could actually happen because it was not described as someone stretching the smile up to their ears. No, it was just smiling.
And they could have been on drugs too. And people are really weird on certain drugs. So, yeah.
Oh, God, yes.
Sydney completely agrees. Yes. Yes, they are. People are terrible.
People are terrible.
So,
yes, finally.
Me and my husband have had this conversation a few times. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not saying these stories are true. The person who wrote it are saying they're true. And I'm not going to verify the stories that I'm reading. It takes too long to verify. I would be narrating once a month.
Oh, God. Yeah, the way I do it, I just ask permission by the poster. Can I narrate this, yes or no?
Yeah, that's what I do too.
me, if I have to actually do my homework and like, is this really true? Is there more to this? I'll never get finished.
Exactly. So yeah,
It's
anyone
not gonna
who's
happen.
reading true stories from Reddit, you take it with a grain of salt. I mean, people do
A
elaborate.
grain of salt?
Grain of salt. Yeah.
I take a soup spoon.
And oh god, that's too much salt.
But it's salt.
It's so much salt. Um, the rule of thumb is people do always, like to elaborate their stories, like to leave out the bad things that they were doing. So
Yeah, that too.
So maybe they didn't do anything. Like, I don't think anyone draws things to them, but maybe they didn't see something that they should have noticed, or maybe they put themselves in a spot they weren't supposed to, or maybe they were an asshole to this person. Or
basic YouTube pranksters.
Or maybe something creepy happened, but they just, made it worse. Like, just decided to go basically write a story of what if it had been this kind of thing. I'll never know. I'm never going to accuse anyone of writing a fictional story when they say it's true.
No.
I'm never going to do that. Sometimes I've read stories, I'm like, this isn't true. Like, there's no way that this happened.
Like, there's one writer I'm particularly a little bit disappointed at, to say the least. Like, I thought he was a good writer. I'm not gonna say names or anything. He's on Reddit. Anywho, so I already narrated a story for him on the channel, and he assured me like 100% he wrote it himself.
Oh no.
And it turns out it was all AI.
Oh.
So he made ChatGPT make the story, and he tweaked a little word so it doesn't really sound like AI,
Yep.
And he just told this to me. Well, apparently he was drinking out of his mate, so there was still a bit of alcohol in his system, sure. And we were just talking, like, do you have another story to narrate? Is this something I can do more for you? It's like, oh yeah, I'll just have ChatGPT make one. I was like, excuse me?
It just reminds me of... So, I don't know if you guys have ever watched Distractable. Not that I'm plugging anything. But Markiplier actually used ChatGPT to do the rhyming, because he was only allowed to talk in rhymes.
Oh, wait.
That's what made my brain go there. But he ran out of ChatGPT.
Oh god, Mark, no, not you. The one sunshine in the world.
Oh, truth be told, he was flat out saying he was using ChatGPT. He was being completely transparent about it. But I mean, it was the rule for the game. Like, that's fine. And you know what? Truth be told, I could see a writer using ChatGPT to like flesh out an idea and then go, okay, I really like that. Now I'm gonna rewrite it, but like fully rewrite it.
But yeah, that's one thing. But you also have to be honest, right? Like, yes. All right, so you got your idea from ChatGPT and you worked on that. That's fine.
Yeah.
Or you used it as like an editor. So you made a few grammatical mistakes. You made ChatGPT correct the mistakes. All right, time-wise makes sense. But literally have everything you've written done by ChatGPT and just change a few words and never tell anyone. That's no.
And truth be told, I can even see someone being silent about like, hey, you took it, you had an idea, you saw what ChatGPT went, and then like rewrote the whole thing. Like, you just was like, okay, I see where you went with that. I've got a cool idea because of that, but I've changed everything about it. Like, basically using it as a thought board, basically. So you used it to think of something, but you're not using the bones. You're just using the idea that you came up with. I could see that just being like, basically have writer's block, and this is just what gets you through that. I can see that being really interesting.
It's a tool. Use it as a tool,
Yeah, exactly. But don't just tweak a couple things. Change pretty much, you should be changing 90 to 80% of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you're not going to be able to change 100, but...
Also, Outcast, I see that bag behind your back. No, no. No, we don't do that. We don't do that here. Go to our Lovecraftian writings. Oh, what's that? A fly.
Must be. And apparently, Nico, oh, well, if you don't question, I'm writing a story about possessed tree that absolutely is 100% true. Now, Nico.
Well, if you say it's 100% true, by God, I want to read it.
I'm talking about when I go on to Reddit, and if a person submitted a story to me and said it was 100% true, I'd be like, okay, take it with a grain of salt, but they said this tree possessed, so tree possessed.
It's 100% true. 100%, I believe.
I believe I can fly. Sorry.
No, thank you. Now that's in my head. All right, thank you for that.
I believe does it to me. Seriously.
7 to 8 years I have not listened to that song specifically because it gets in my head. Oh,
I watched
that's ruined.
Space Jam so much.
That's where I got it from.
Same.
the end credits. Oh, Space Jam.
Beginning. It's the very opening. When he's training on the court, he starts. The opening is "I Believe I Can Fly Too."
Isn't that also in the end credits though? I thought it was.
Might be in the end credits as well, but I never watched the credits. I only watched the beginning. And
all right, fair enough.
That that movie was. That movie was so good. Like the acting was not the greatest by certain people.
It's Michael Jordan talking to Looney Tunes.
But
all right.
The way they did
For what it is, it's all right.
What they did and how they did it was really cool. Like
it was
really cool. I loved the story, and just like these guys come from space, and it's over the top, but it's Looney Tunes. What do you expect if it's not over the top?
Basically, I just want to have the one guy that thought like, you know what, Danny DeVito as an alien from the Looney Tunes. Whoever thought of that idea, please get a raise. By God, get a raise.
Actually, at this point, be retired and enjoying your longevity.
Right.
Because it was made in the 90s, man. Nico says, to be fair, it's about a real tree from my childhood. The characters are based on me and my childhood friend. The stuff we did was true, I believe. And the tree stuff being possessed, killing people.
Why, dark little voices? Why?
So just to read it, Dark Little Voices says, I love the version we sang in high school of I Believe I Can Fly, but believe I got shot by the FBI. I think of the pain every day. I can't remember the rest.
I mean, it's a version.
And Nico said this stuff was obviously made up for the story, but most of my stuff contains elements of truth with embellishments, of course. Yes. I'm
actually a little curious now.
Nico, I have a subreddit you can submit stories to. So I also have a website you can submit stories to, and a email. All the things are down in the description box. I'm not even joking. I leave everything in the description box.
By the way, me too, Nico. I have all that. Just saying.
You have to go to his page though to find that. We were horrible little shits, says Dark Little Voices.
Yes.
I believe I was shot by the FBI.
I mean, you have to be a little bit horrible if you get shot by the FBI, right?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, from what I've seen,
when they unilaterally decide, yeah, we're not gonna take him in alive. That means you're a bad mofo. Yeah.
Well, no, you can shoot him in the leg. You can shoot him in the arm. You can shoot him.
No.
You can shoot him where it really hurts, but it doesn't kill them.
Why waste several bullets on wounding when you can have one bullet for the ending?
Okay.
Bullets are expensive.
No, they're not. They're turned cheap, especially in the States.
They're expensive in packages.
No, they're cheap. They're really, really cheap. I'm not going to Google it because I live in Canada, and well, it's not like that strict. But no, bullets are not expensive. Ammo is not expensive.
Yeah, Nico replies. It was awful, Doc, and was to be part of a series of true paranormal experiences I had, with the tree one being the only one that didn't happen. But I never wrote the rest of the stories. Aww. Nico, no.
You started with the tree. You started with the good one, but you didn't know with the that this is the problem.
You started out with the tree, now make the branches.
You got the trunk, now you need the branches.
Yes, what she said, but less wise.
You gotta root it in. You gotta water that. You need to see the fruit of your labor. I'm out of puns.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's enough. I think that. Yeah, that's enough. Don't do that anymore.
I'm just flowering with ideas. Okay.
Oh wow! Oh god!
I would see myself out, but this is my own stream.
It's almost like I planted you the idea.
It might be. You might have really fertilized it too.
I may have given you the roots.
I already said roots. It started out with the fictional one and never actually got around to this true story. Great puns. We really shoveled it on.
Bit of a. I have a question. So, what do a dog and a tree have in common?
What's that?
Bark.
Yeah, but is the bark worse than the bite?
Trees don't bite.
I don't know. I've been bitten by a couple.
When do trees bite? What kind of trees do you have in Canada? I thought it was a friendly place.
The people are friendly. The nature's not. Have you not seen the moose and the Canadian geese?
I've seen. I was about to say I've seen the geese.
The Canadian geese.
Psychopaths.
I've never been threatened by a Canadian goose. Not once. I have walked right up to them and they've been perfectly pleasant with me. I don't know what people are scared of. But I've also seen them be vicious.
They sense a fellow psychopath when they're near.
Apparently. Yeah.
Dark little voices. He's
probably shaking his head right now. Like this is what I came here for.
Spit probably like, I could have gone to sleep, but no, now I'm here.
Could have been playing
yes,
D&D,
now you
but
are.
Now I'm here. Damn it.
And we love you for it.
Yes. You can tell Decay.
Well, she loves you for it. I tolerate you, but same thing.
You can tell Decay that we threw a bunch of shade around and with some puns.
Ooh.
Decay is his wife, so Dark Little Voices is technically mostly shade, but Decay sends voice. It does lines for him and stuff too.
Max, Canadian people are nice. You have never been to
Quebec. Wait. Quebec.
You've not been Quebec. Quebecians.
They would not be probably happy if you called them that. I'm not sure what you would call
them.
No?
Oh my god, I thought that was the actual term.
Well, I don't know if it's Quebecians. I think they have some stupid thing. I don't know. I don't live in Quebec. I don't live near Quebec. I'd stay away from Quebec.
Quebec's no fun?
Quebec's full of French people.
So, you can make your own fun then?
We've had this conversation, actually.
We did? Oh, yeah, wait. Oh, wow, we did. Yeah, the Quebec people. Right.
You're
not people.
They're French, so therefore they are stuck up and a bit snooty. They believe that everyone should bow down to them and hand them everything.
Oui, Canada is ours, huh? Nah. Actually, that sounds about right. That's a geese sound. Goose sound. Honk honk.
Apparently, Dark Voice says he's here for the chaos and drink. It's a drink.
Yes. Streamlabs, don't tell us what to do, alright?
Hey you, yes you, hit that like button and make sure it feels it. Subscribe if you're new and remember to share.
Ah, so oppressive.
I'm the one who wrote it. I wanted to catch.
Oh, you?
Yeah, I did it myself, and it has a random. Well, not random. It puts itself in after every so often to remind people to like and subscribe and share. It's one of them's every 35 minutes, and the other one's every 45 minutes. I think, from what I remember, I did way back when.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
Gotta remind people to like, subscribe, share, and comment. It helps the algorithm know.
Also, same thing on my side, what she said just now.
Yeah, remember to like, subscribe, share, and comment.
Mucho appreciato.
Combo. Alright, I already did that. I don't even...
No, don't.
When I need to watch the whole stream, I usually am number 5 to like it.
I got a paranormal story, by the way.
Okay, go ahead. I will mute myself.
Here's the thing. I found a bunch of them, so if they're short enough, can I, like, do 2 after another?
Yeah, you can do 2 in a row if you want.
Because they're really short.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Here we go, folks. No one believed me when I told them that my reflection in the mirror was alive. Grow up, dude. You're not 5 years old anymore. You're 24. That was all they said to me while laughing as a response to my story. Well, I had to admit, it was indeed sounded like a typical fear of a 5-year-old would have, but I swear to God it was true. I couldn't remember when my reflection came to life, but I remember that it wasn't like that when I was a child. It was recently, I was sure, and it wasn't a ghost. Well, your reflection was alive. Oh well, writing. Your reflection was alive, looked like an act of a ghostly thing, but no, mine wasn't a ghost. It felt to me as if it was a creature, an entity who lived behind the mirror, or trapped in there. I couldn't tell why or how. What I could tell was my reflection was constantly trying to grab me, as if it was going to pull me inside the mirror while jumped out. Nope, that wasn't gonna happen. Ever. Ever since I realized that my reflection was alive and constantly trying to grab me inside the mirror, I always did my best to keep my distance from reflective surfaces. Like, when I brushed my teeth the other night, for example, I always stood a few meters from the mirror, so it wouldn't be able to grab me. Welcome to the party, Serena Rovi. That was a little shout out to the new subscriber for 42. Back to the story. The entity in the mirror was constantly showing a grumpy and angry face every time it was just the two of us in the room. No matter how I tried to smile in front of the mirror, the entity behind it never smiled. Never. It always looked grumpy and angry. One day, I took off from my flat for sightseeing in the mall nearby, when suddenly an earthquake occurred. It was a huge one. Everyone was hysterical. They were running around in panic, looking for a shelter. I ran to cover myself under a table to avoid getting hit by anything that fell. But I was too late. I didn't realize something fell from above me and hit me in the head. I fell down, and I groaned from the pain. As the pain slowly faded, I started looking around. The earthquake had stopped. The mall was slightly dark. The light was out. It was messy in there. I gasped when I noticed something shiny not far from me. I turned my head and I saw a mirror, probably from the fitting room near me. In a reflex, I crawled away as far as I could, even though my head and my legs were hurt. Right there and then, I saw my reflection in the mirror. For the first time in forever, I saw the entity behind the mirror smiling at me. A devilish smile. A sense of horror grasped me as I saw the entity waving at me from behind the mirror, as if it was saying goodbye, for good. That was the first story. Just need to see where I put story number 2 and we can get into that one.
Thank you for subscribing, Serena. I know you already said thank you, but I thought I'd come in here real quick and do that.
Well, I mean, yeah. Welcome, Serena, to the madness. Again. And here we go. No, you. Yes, you. And here we go. Story number 2. For as long as I can remember, the house at the end of the street held some mystery. Uninhabited for years, the local kids and parents all knew about its previous occupants and what happened. A young couple moved into the place around 2004. The young wife was upstairs one day when the husband rang the doorbell for some assistance carrying some boxes inside the front door. His wife said, "Coming," but then proceeded to take a tumble down the staircase and broke her neck upon hitting the front door, which was at the base of the stairs. She died instantly. The noise alarmed the husband, who dropped the boxes, and the rest is history. The husband was heartbroken and never spent another night there, leaving some things behind in the house. As with all juicy tales, there were follow-up stories, and this is where things got weird. Apparently, one day, an UPS worker walked up to the house, mistaking it for the house next door, rang the doorbell to deliver a package, and heard someone say, "Coming." Then a moment later, something hit the door hard. It was late in the afternoon, no lights were on, and dead silence. This alarmed the man, but after asking, "Is anyone there?" a few times, he realized he was at the wrong address and made a correction. He told the neighbor, the real recipient of the package, about what happened and was genuinely shocked when he learned that nobody actually lived there anymore. The neighbor said his pallor went from a natural hue to pure white terror. This just added to the legend. Around Halloween each year we would have these contests to see who could ring the doorbell, stand there for 2 minutes without getting scared or running away. Nobody ever did. Well, not until Casey moved into the neighborhood. His father was in the Navy, and Casey was fearless. All the kids looked up to him. When Casey celebrated his first Halloween with us, he accepted the challenge. He watched from across the street. Hell, we were scared. Casey walked up to the house, rang the doorbell. Nothing happened. But then he reached for the doorknob and walked in, surprising us all. "Is he bloody crazy, dude?" I shouted. Casey was now inside the weirdo house. It was dark, but we could see him with his flashlight in the rooms on the second floor. The rest of us looked at each other and said, "Sod it," and ran across the street to join Casey. We get to the house, and right as we opened the door, Casey comes tumbling down the stairs and would have hit the door if we weren't standing there holding it open. We picked him up and said, "What the hell happened?" I rang the bell, someone said, "Come in," and so I did, he replied. "But you fell." "Well, something pushed me, but nobody was up there at all. Not a soul." And that's the end of story 2.
Max. Yeah, Max said, poor woman for falling down those stairs and dying. And ringing.
I mean, I find this. Sorry.
I was saying,
Ring and not ditch, yeah.
Ring and not ditch. That's a new game that I never thought of.
Yeah, I was actually confused when I read that because I was also like, wait, don't you ring and run at Halloween, or did I miss something?
No, but the whole point, because I knew the house was haunted, you would stand there for 2 minutes and not get
That's
scared
an actual thing. Hold on, wait, that's an actual thing? I thought that was like a horror movie trope, like ring the bell, stand there, who's chicken, stuff like that.
No. The game is ring and ditch. There's another word.
Like ring and then run, right?
Yeah, exactly. But
all right, okay.
Because because the house was haunted, it's more scary to stand there.
Okay. I mean, yeah, obviously.
Exactly. That's why it's like Ring and Not Ditch is a new game for me.
The thing is with the ending actually got me thinking. So the woman supposedly fell, right?
Yes. She fell down the stairs.
So what if something did push her?
Yeah.
Not the husband, but...
No. Or maybe she pushed the kid. Who knows?
Wait, hold on. She pushed the kid?
After she was dead? Her ghost?
Oh, like that. Oh, yeah, yeah, sure. Perpetual loop and all that.
She's just lonely. She wants someone to join her.
Oh, hold on. Nico actually is answering my question. A resident or native of Quebec is often referred to in English as a Quebecer.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Google and Nico.
With a K
At least
or
now I know this. CK. Wait, hold. C and CK.
Yeah, so it's with or without the K, basically.
Right. Just to pour salt on the wound. Just use the C.
Just don't call them anything. That's how you rub the salt in the wound.
I need labels, 42. It's how I put my medicine away too. I need the labels.
This is why I took them all away from you. Now you don't know what meds you're taking. It's funner that way. I also mixed them up.
Yeah, you're gonna have a little water after this. Not spiced at all.
I've had a lot of sugar today.
Setting a little bit of tea.
I just actually realized how much sugar I've had today, and most of it all in drinking form.
You've had sugar? I didn't notice.
I'm drinking a giant Coke right now, and I had a shaken oat milk espresso.
Kitty, no, no.
That was so crystal clear.
That's Vici. To who doesn't know, Vici is one of my free cats and basically the attention princess in the apartment.
The one that I accidentally meowed perfectly with?
Yeah.
That was weird.
It's the same one.
I was just making jokes and I was like, wow, I somehow meowed what the cat did. That's bizarre. I don't know how I did that.
Wait. If you watch my Discord server, I actually posted a picture of it of today.
The little cutie patootie?
Or yesterday. With the little cutie patootie that's interrupting the stream right now, yes.
I mean, it's a cute patootie. Of course it's interrupting the stream. That's the rule.
It's not a cutie Actually, no, she's like a attention princession. I don't know how to do this. Nah, she wants attention. There. Don't you, sweetie? Oh. That's the mic. That's the don't play with the mic, please.
Don't rub your cheek against the mic. All right. Did you want to look up either a creepy encounter or a Let's Not Meet story? And I will do a glitch in the Matrix, and those will be the last two for the stream.
Okie dokie. Yes, Cindy, she is a sweet kitty.
Sweet little kitty.
And she's like grabbing at my arm to have one arm for her attention.
This one pets me. I don't care what else you want to do, but this one pets me.
This one should be over my head, and you rub my head, and you rub it good. Because if you don't rub it good at 4 a.m., I'm making noise.
Yeah, fair. This is true. Our cat likes the butt scratches. It's all about the butt for her.
Like, you have no idea what my mother cat does, okay, when she doesn't get her way.
Oh, God.
She is evil. Downright evil.
I don't know how many times I've woken up to the cat going, meow, meow. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
I'd prefer that. I'd actually prefer that, but you know what my cat does?
Oh no, what does your cat do?
So also around 3, 4 a.m., right? When I'm fast asleep, and she waits until I'm asleep. I want to clarify this. She doesn't do this while I'm awake. But when I sleep, and she had a day where I didn't give her what she wanted,
oh no,
something like that, or, because she's evil at random, and I actually put in security cameras just to watch this. Unbelievable. At one point, I woke up in the night because I felt a rock thrown at my cheek, right? And she was like sitting on my chest. I was like, what the hell? So I went to the laptop, I checked the security footage, and I saw her go into the litter box.
Oh no.
And hop her way upstairs to me. And I need to reiterate, I have a studio, so I basically have a stairs in my living room, and then there's my bedroom. I cannot really close that. So I see her hop on the stairs, with one paw like hidden, jumps on me, and then flicks whatever the hell she dug up in there at my cheek.
You either have poo or pee on your face.
I have no idea. So sometimes it's like a solid piece of poo. And it's disgusting. And sometimes it's like this clumped up, pee. That I only find out when I smell it, and I can no longer sleep in that bed because then the smell just goes through, and I have to wash the whole bed the next day. She's evil. I don't throw my poo at people yet. Why does she?
Because she's your cat, and she has decided that this is how things are done.
Details. Like I said, she's evil. I named her Lilith, by the way. I think that's maybe...
I think they might have picked the right name.
Right?
No, ours is named Suki, and I'm gonna have the one cat. We have one cat and one dog, but she's actually my roommate's cat. So we keep so when we sleep, we keep our door closed. But I don't know how many times I've woken up. Like, it's about time for me to wake up, and I'm like, hear the meow, meow, and I'm like, you're not even my cat. I don't. Is your food out? I get up, I look. Nope, the food's fine. She just wanted to tit and shit, and I'm like. I just kind of wanted to sleep for a few more minutes, but I thought, nah, maybe the cat's hungry. Nope, the cat's just a little attention whore, and she just wants attention, and she's debated.
Yeah, we're talking about you, who is sitting on my couch. Yeah, we're talking about you.
Remember this tonight, when I go downstairs and grab my ammunition.
Oh, she will. She will. Don't worry about it.
Alright, I'm gonna read this glitch story, and then we'll get you to read a creepy encounter, let's not meet story afterwards. Sound good?
Yippee-ki-yay.
Okay. My first glitch. Yesterday, I think I experienced my first honest-to-goodness glitch in the Matrix, and it's been messing with my head ever since. According to the flowchart, I should post my story, encounter, experience. I have been looking for a while now, but never had anything to contribute, until now, of course. Typically, I work from 7 in the morning, and most of the others come in about an hour later. I keep an eye on the lobby until the window is open, shades are drawn until 8, and I do so via the camera system. When you enter the building, there is an outer lobby, and there's a second inner lobby after going through the glass doors between the two lobbies. The window is bulletproof glass, and the door is secured, so you must have your fob to enter or to be buzzed in. The only reason I keep an eye on the lobby is to let other employees in. My work bestie, Elle, comes in a little after 8 each day. I check the cameras and watch Elle enter the lobby from the outer lobby. I watch her walk through the glass door. She's wearing her yellow/green puffy-ish coat, carrying her canvas bag and purple paisley lunch bag on her right arm. She uses her right arm to swing her fob fob and enter the building through the security door. I hear it open. Of note, she has the same routine each day. She comes into the area where they have their desks and I have my office. She turns on a particular light, punches in at the computer located at the window, and then she sets her things on her chair at her own desk. I was hanging out by my office door, chomping at the bit to tell her something, and she didn't come through for quite some time. I thought to myself, maybe she went to see E first thing. He was looking for her. I sat back down at my desk to continue working, and I watched her via the camera. She's in the outer lobby, coming through the door from the outer lobby into the lobby. Everything is the same except for her coat. She now has a reddish pink coat, but her path, movements, bag, and lunch bag are all the same. I know something didn't happen where the camera started playing old footage from a prior morning. All the other views, I have 10 views at once throughout the building, were also running normally. I also have not been looking back at footage to see if I see her twice again. I have a hunch I only see her the once this time around. It was so trippy because I know I watched her walking the first time in the yellow coat. I keep coming back to it throughout the day and thinking on it, so I thought I would share. The end. Her friend glitched through the doors twice. Dr. Torment? There you are.
Am I back?
There you go. You're back.
Okay, so sorry, my equipment was being weird there.
Blame the equipment, of course.
Yeah, I had a glitch of my own, what can I say?
Yeah, fair. I mean, the equipment's allowed to glitch.
That's actually a fun one. Like, normally I'm a little... When it comes to glitch in the Matrix stories, I'm not really, how to say this without... Yeah, not really that much interested, but I know some very fun stories can come from it. Yes. Like this one.
A lot of the time it's items disappearing and stuff, but people, like, especially on my channel and as the Raven Dreams channel, like, love glitch in the Matrix stories. I always do a glitch in the Matrix story once a month, and then I do either a paranormal or creepy encounter story. So, video. It switches between the two.
Okay, okie dokie.
Alright, you can go right ahead if you want.
I'm more into, how to say it, well, I've forgotten the word about it. I'm more into, well, these dark, well, let's say paranormal stuff, yes. I'm more into paranormal, eldritch stuff and gothic horror, stuff like that.
That's fair.
Classics.
That's fair.
So, because we mentioned it before, I found a story of The Smiling Man we were discussing a little while ago.
Perfect, then everyone can know the story we're talking about, if anyone doesn't know The Smiling Man story.
It's a classic, though.
It really is. And I think it's a let's
people who don't know this one,
I'm surprised. I think I heard 3 or 4 narrators do it in the short amount of time.
I mean, to be fair, I have my own version of it too, but yeah, could use work. That's one of my older videos.
Alright, go ahead.
So, let's get to it. Getting up now. About 5 years ago, I lived downtown in a major city in the US. I have always been a night person, so I would often find myself bored after my roommate, who was decidedly not a night person, went to sleep. To pass the time, I used to go for long walks and spend the time thinking. I spent 4 years like that, walking alone at night, and never once had a reason to feel afraid. I always used to joke with my roommate that even the drug dealers in the city were polite. But all of that changed in just a few minutes of one evening. It was a Wednesday, somewhere between 1 and 2 in the morning, and I was walking near a police-patrolled park quite a ways from my apartment. It was a quiet night, even for a weeknight, with very little traffic and almost no one on foot. The park, as it was most nights, was completely empty. I turned down a short side street in order to loop back to my apartment when I first noticed him. At the far end of the street, on my side, was the silhouette of a man dancing. It was a strange dance, similar to a waltz, but he finished each box with an odd forward stride. I guess you could say he was dance-walking, heading straight for me. Deciding he was probably drunk, I stepped as close as I could to the road to give him the majority of the sidewalk to pass me by. The closer he got, the more I realized how gracefully he was moving. He was very tall and lanky and wearing an old suit. He danced closer still until I could make out his face. His eyes were open wide and wild, head tilted back slightly, looking off at the sky. His mouth was formed in a painfully wide cartoon of a smile. Between the eyes and the smile, I decided to cross the street before he danced any closer. I took my eyes off him to cross the empty street. As I reached the other side, I glanced back, and then stopped dead in my tracks. He had stopped dancing and was standing with one foot on the street, perfectly parallel to me. He was facing me, but still looking skyward, smile still wide on his lips. I was completely and utterly unnerved by this. I started walking again, but kept my eyes on the man. He didn't move. Once I had put about half a block between us, I turned away from him for a moment to watch the sidewalk in front of me. The street and the sidewalk ahead of me were completely empty. Still unnerved, I looked back to where he had been standing, to find him gone. For the briefest of moments, I felt relieved, until I noticed him. He had crossed the street and was now slightly crouched down. I couldn't tell for sure due to the distance and the shadows, but I was certain he was facing me. I had looked away from him for no more than 10 seconds, so it was clear that he had moved fast. I was so shocked that I stood there for some time, staring at him, and then he started moving toward me again. He took giant, exaggerated tiptoed steps, as if he were a cartoon character sneaking up on someone. Except he was moving very, very quickly. I'd like to say at this point I ran away or pulled up my pepper spray or my cell phone or anything at all, but I didn't. I just stood there, completely frozen, as the smiling man crept towards me. And then he stopped again, about a car length away from me, still smiling his smile, still looking to the sky. When I finally found my voice, I blurted out the first thing that came to mind. What I meant to ask was, "What do you want?" in an angry, commanding tone. What came out was a whimper. Regardless of whether or not humans can smell fear, they can certainly hear it. I heard it in my own voice, and that alone made me more afraid. He didn't react to it at all. He just stood there, smiling. And then, after what felt like forever, he turned around very slowly and started dance-walking away. Just like that. Not wanting to turn my back to him again, however, I just watched him go until he was far enough away to almost be out of sight. And then I realized something. He wasn't moving away anymore, nor was he dancing. I watched in horror as the distant shape of him grew larger and larger. He was coming back my way, And this time, he was running. I ran too. I ran until I was off the side road and back onto a better lit road for sparse traffic. Looking behind me then, he was nowhere to be found. The rest of the way home, I kept glancing over my shoulder, always expecting to see his stupid smile, but he was never there. I lived in that city for 6 months after that night, and I never went out for another walk. There was something about his face that always haunted me. He didn't look drunk, he didn't look high. He looked completely and utterly insane. And that's a very, very scary thing to see. Ta-da!
Yeah. I think he was on something.
Yeah, definitely it was on something.
It's always the movement. It's so weird to me.
Like the cartoonish tiptoey thing?
Yeah.
I actually did that at night once.
Before or after you heard about this story?
Before I heard of this one. Like, I had no idea. But, yeah, at some point I just decided... There were these kids that were constantly making noise, and sometimes they throw, like, eggs at windows, you know?
Yeah.
So at one point I put on, like, a dark cloak above... Well, no, it was my sheet. Never mind, it's not a cloak, it was my sheet. So I put my sheet on me, walked outside, and basically did... Not exactly that, but like the tiptoeing and the weird movements, not the dancing though. Basically did that the entire time. They were like... Whew. I've never heard a beep. I've never heard a beep since then. It's been 2 years. Diego listened to 6 hours of your content yesterday while assembling furniture. I mean, it's good background to have.
Yeah, I've got probably 3 or 4 days worth of content, at least.
I think a little more than that, right?
Yeah, fair. Apparently, Nico said, "Oh my God, Doc is a smiley man. It's the stories about you this whole time."
Nico. Haha, Nico, that is a joke. I see that as a joke. You will not spread that joke any further. You will. No, you will not. Oh, Nico, such a funny guy, you.
I mean, it's a great way of dealing with.
You can't tell, but I'm smiling.
Not at all. Not that you're doing this sick, twisted smile like, I'm going to end you.
No.
No?
I mean, yeah, September, not really rude neighbors, just like kids that come from other towns that just hang out because we have a play art, stuff like that.
Mm.
And then they use that play art to smoke, yeah, because, you know, kids these days.
Kids. Just, not these days, just kids.
Just kids.
Yeah, because I can think of my generation doing that.
But terrified... Always think of it this way, terrified kids make the best messengers.
Yes, it's true. There was this creepy guy that was following us, and you don't want to go back there again.
He had a sheet and 2 different shoes on, and he was making weird movements. He was laughing the entire time.
We think he was
I wasn't laughing the entire... I didn't think I was laughing the entire time, but a neighbor did say I was laughing, so... Alright, let's go with that.
Possible.
In a cupboard. Yeah, it's especially smart to say that out loud and on the stream that I can always come back to. Yes, Nico. Yes, you go sleep in a cupboard, you.
He's not going to sleep in a cupboard. He's going to go sleep in a closet instead. See, he's misdirecting you.
Oh, classic misdirection. Nico, yeah. Oh, nice.
He's getting smarter.
I'm still going to turn that... Yeah, I'm still gonna turn out the entire house, though. It's gonna be fine.
Oh yeah, he's not gonna be in his own house.
You're
gonna sleep in someone else's closet. He's gotten smart. He's not going to be at his own house. I use my voice.
I have a smell for this.
Scary voices to run off local teens.
Yes, September!
That's using your powers for evil, September!
Yes!
We love it!
Do it for evil!
Do it for the evil!
We like evil. Too
what
much?
He said.
Too much evil.
No, I loved it. See, this is why it's nice to have deep voices. You can pull stuff like that off.
Yeah, it also hurts my throat like, oh my god.
Crazy.
Like swallowing sandpaper. It's fun.
Why do you know what it tastes, what it feels like to swallow sandpaper? These are things you
Listen.
should know.
Listen. All right, I've been through stuff. Okay.
And things and doodads.
I did experimental things with food.
Did this involve getting the bananas to talk to the gods for? To get resurrected?
Maybe. You don't know this? No. I'm not gonna
Apparently
deny nor
Nico
confirm
said
that.
After
I'm not gonna deny nor confirm.
We like evil. I'm not sleeping again.
Welcome to the Madhouse. Did you know I have a channel too? Go on, have a hop.
September said he uses
Plenty
the
of
same
that.
skills to read to his daughters. Which is good. So
I'm missing in the context, like read them like a story for bedtime or terrify them, because I'm all for the second.
why not both? You can read them
Because
at
one
bedtime.
involves sleep. Because one involves sleep and the other one doesn't.
I've been terrified and still slept. You don't understand. Being scared 24/7 is just how I live.
I mean, that's called anxiety, though.
Yeah. Welcome to my generation. We live in anxiety 24/7.
Welcome to your generation. We are of the same generation. Hold on. Wait. No, you don't get to pull that card on me. No, you don't.
Excuse me.
I've done it both ways. Okay, yeah, September. That's actually nice. That's actually very nice. Done it both ways, and they're not scared of him.
Yeah, it's good.
Nice.
I will pull up my generation card.
Your generation. No, you don't get to pull out your generation card. We're basically the same generation. No.
You don't know how old I am. I might be 5.
You? No, you're not. Don't make me say it. I will say it.
Look, I'm 5 maturity-wise. And that's close enough.
You know what? Yes, fine. I'll give you that one. Sure. Because of the sugar.
The amount of sugar I've had today. I didn't realize how much sugar I was drinking
Because of all
today.
the sugar.
I've even drank 2 cups of water today.
Did you see 42 somewhere? No, but the mill's been running very fast today.
So, do you have anything going on your channel that you would like to promote in the near future or just past?
Well, I'm still gearing up for the live streams, which will happen somewhere next month. Yes, that should probably be happening somewhere next month, but somewhere to promote right now. If you want to hear me do the demon voice again, I highly recommend The Deal That Doomed Salem. That's on my channel.
Sounds good. And
It's fun.
Of course, his links are in the description box for you for easy clicking. You should also make sure you walk over there. You click over there and subscribe to him if you haven't done so already.
And you can also visit my link trees, which are in the comment section of my videos, which means you can also join me on Discord. All right, have a good night, Cindy.
Take care, Cindy. Let's close the poll so people won't keep voting since we're done reading. That's all. It's just someone else voted. It was like, oh, I should just end this because we're not reading anymore.
Yeah.
For my channel, the video that just passed and the night version is coming out tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow is Dark Web / Deep Web Stories. And then what's coming out on Sunday is going to be Paranormal Stories. It almost feels like some days that my live stream can pre-predict what's coming out, because Paranormal 1 originally, and I'm like, it's coming, and like the week before it was Glitch, and I was like, I'm doing Glitch, it's coming out this week.
How do you people know?
Stop! Get out of my head! You don't want in there. It's crowded.
She's 5-year-old. Get out of her head.
Not a safe space.
Oh, I actually forgot. Wow, how could I forgot? I'm in the middle of editing this one. So tomorrow I do have a new video coming out that is a bit like Saw.
Oh,
people will love it.
Does it have a needle pit in it?
Well, no, but it does involve games. Or a game.
Okay. I saw what you did there.
Not gonna spoil it, of course.
You totally missed what I said.
Well, yeah.
I saw what you did there. Eh?
Yeah.
Eh?
I'm smart, hey.
Yeah, this is why no one invites me to parties. With
or
good
me.
reason. You're the one who volunteered to be a guest on this stream.
I mean, yeah, but everybody says yes when you have a gun to your head, you know?
I was gonna say, at least you get your cat back now.
No, the cat has me back.
Yes. Alright, well, thank you everyone for joining us this evening. I hope you have a great rest of your week. I will see you next Friday. I do not have a guest lined up at this moment. That could change, but if it doesn't, it'll be a live reading and probably playing a video game at this a little bit later into the stream. So thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a good one. Take care, guys.
Have a good night, friends.